stop on down and see the real thing. We'll remember it. We will remember it.
You saw me looking at you. I noticed you looking too. I caught a glimpse of your face. I really felt out of place. I caught you in the corner of my eye. Caught you in the corner of my eye. Caught you in the corner of my eye.
We're just going to keep going and keep moving on in a positive direction.
I don't wanna live inside a nuclear apartment. I don't wanna live inside a nuclear apartment. I don't wanna live inside a nuclear apartment. Swimming pools, tennis courts, race cars, nuclear landlord, nuclear landlord, nuclear landlord.
Recorded live last night in possibly the hottest concert I've ever been at. It made the heat wave of earlier this week look like a beautiful shade.
It was incredible. We had a thermometer on stage at one point, and it was like somewhere in the vicinity of like 140 degrees, and those people just hung in there with us and went wild.
Isn't it difficult for you guys to be playing out and staying out late at night and then having to come back and work the next morning at 9 o'clock?
It's extremely difficult, and in some cases it's 7 o'clock. They hold it together. It's either all or nothing. So, fortunately, they do hold down day jobs, which, enables them financially to be able to go and play.
It's possible that Manny Vincente will cut the meat that you'll eat this week, but he has to be very careful on the job.
If you see the band in a dressing room situation, which far too many people get to do, then you see what happens is that the band just pumps itself up. It just happens. It's automatic. You can feel it. You can just feel it. If you're involved in it, and all of these people have been involved in some way or another, it just catches up with you. And I think that carries over to our stage performance. You saw it in the crowd tonight.
Rick Mendes had contacted me it was around November 1979. To come play with him and a bunch of his cohorts from the Attleboro area, members of which were Tim Bays, Jimmy Michelle, at that time was J.D. Poro, of course Rick, and at that time he was also looking for a rhythm guitar player, which we had incorporated a gentleman by the name of Steve DeJardin, who was good friend of members of Boston. And he came on board, practiced with us for about 2 months or so, and then decided that he wanted to go in a different direction. So what happened was we were looking for another guitar player. We had found one Michael Cronin. He came down, auditioned, and right away, due to the fact that Steve DeJardin didn't sing, however, Michael did, so it was an extra added voice to what we wanted to be a strong vocal concept. So that was the beginning of what was then known as the Progress.
A man ain't shit if it got no clout. Cause a man's gotta eat.
Well, J.D. Porro, the lead guitar player, and I have been together about 2 years now, and we basically are responsible for the initial concepts of the material when we write it, although the band does get full credit because everybody puts in. And J.D. and I were very fortunate to run into Jim Michelle, who was also looking for an original band. It was just everybody was really frustrated playing top 40 and cover, and so it was a good thing for us to be able to, play our own music. So after we got Jim on bass, he knew Michael Cronin and Tim Bays, our guitar player and drummer, and from there it just grew. I brought Manny Vincenti in, who I had done vocals with in some bands earlier, and then we got the girls months later. We just picked them up. That was an idea that came from our executive producer, Mr. Desi G, as in goodness, Halmy, who has been nice enough to furnish some funds for us to record some of this material you're listening to today. It just all came together. We found the right people at the right time, and as we went along, we added, and we got the final group together. The band members have been together about a year now with no changes, and the girls have been with us since the summer. And it's a big family affair, really.
We decided to try to make the faces more obvious to the audience. We would put a white base on the face. And then I went to the theatrical store, and she recommended things for the eyes and the cheeks, and that's how we first started. And then after seeing things on TV and things in magazines, we started using different colors, pinks and the blues.
Why won't you tell me what you thinking of? Well, I got to know. Thank you.
Band should do a 45. There's no sense going around the world if you're not hawking some sort of product. You got to be doing product. Product's everything. If you got no product, then you can't leave your mark. You can go and do a show and go home, and then maybe somebody will remember you. But hopefully, if you get some airplay on a radio station and that gets happening, you can leave your mark there. And in the physical sense, never say die. Never quit. We're looking for the right kind of management, and that's what we've been looking for the past year. Fortunately, right now, we are in negotiation with some people who have offices in Boston and New York, and it looks like something really nice might come together. As I say, we are in negotiation, and I hope something nice will be happening within the next week or 10 days. I'd like to be able to come all the way over to London and do 14,000 people. I'd like to be able to travel to California and do 10,000 people. I mean, I'd like to, I want to be front page news. I want to be a household word. I want that for everybody,
I think it's just a matter of time. 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 Success, 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 success.
want to say that I'm sure tonight will be a night that all of us up here will remember for a long time. Thank you.
We just want to be first, that's all.